Welcome back. You're watching Morning Live. Thank you for choosing to stay with us now. 4 art practitioners have just returned from the United Kingdom after being part of Business and Art South Africa and British Council's Connect ZA, Connecting Creative Markets program. Ukhona Mlandu, Jon Keevy, Kim Sanssoucie and Yusrah Bardien spent a week training with the UK-based Arts Marketing Association, and their visit included attending AMA's Digital Marketing Day, as well as intensive engagements with several UK arts organisations currently using cutting-edge strategies and techniques in audience market development. That's a mouthful. To tell us more, we're joined this morning by BASA's Marketing Operations Manager, Lonwabo Mavuso, and accomplished actor, writer, dancer and voice-over artist, Kim Sanssoucie. We're trying to work on that name. Guys, good morning, welcome.
Thank you, good morning.
Lonwabo, let's start with you. I mean, this sounds like a hectic program. Just give us a bit of a brief backdrop to it and kind of what it all entailed.
Sure. So Business and Art South Africa, in partnership with British Council Connect ZA, saw that there is perhaps a gap in around audience development in the country, that most organizations are doing it, but there's not necessarily an intelligence and techniques all around audience development. So we created this what we call Connecting Creative Markets program, where we're getting fellows to go to the UK to really understand what audience development means in the UK and try to come back to South Africa and implement it in a South African context.
I want to bring Kim into this conversation, but very quickly, you said something interesting. Developing into an audience market, how are they going to do that?
So the whole kind of idea or the trip to the UK was for them to understand what audience development means in Europe. I think in London they're much more advanced in terms of understanding what audience development is. And in this country we see a lot that we go to our theatres and most of the time that they're empty. Our museums, not many South African are participating.
When it's a fantastic day out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for us as Business and Art South Africa, we're very concerned about sustainability of arts organizations, and we see audiences and people engaging with arts institutions that's a way for sustainability.
Kim, what was the big eye-opener for you? I mean, you're doing all these things in the creative space, right. But what was this thing that once you've been through that program, you went, I didn't know that, oh, I knew that, but now it's enhanced?
Right. As an artist, I think we don't think so much about marketing our content. And I think what was interesting for me was how the theatres in London market their content. And it's as far as data collection and segmentation systems that are very sophisticated around audiences, about their behaviours and attitudes. It's not just demographics or LSMs. Also synergies between marketing and programming. I think we just, as artists, we think about just our content and we're not really thinking about the audience that we're making it for. And also as artists, we shouldn't necessarily make for an audience, but for an audience in mind, definitely.
As an actor, writer, dancer and voice-over artist, I would assume that at some point this would be great for theatre owners and people that own the content and own the productions. Do you own your own productions, and how do you kind of take the knowledge you've now learned and kind of share that with people around you and say, hold on, there's a better way of doing this?
Well, I've personally just started a live performance production company called Slice Beam Machine, which BASA has been phenomenal with helping me grow and develop. But part of the program as the fellows, we will be going to art organizations. We'll be put into art organizations, the 4 of us, and we'll be helping them develop strategy around audience development.
Why Kim and the other 3? Why were they the best suited as fellows to go to the UK?
I mean, it speaks for itself. But yeah, she's speaking so eloquently, and she's got a deep understanding of what audience development is. And so when we were looking for fellows, that was one of their criteria. Someone who is working in the sector, someone who's energetic, excited, young, and really wants to contribute to the development of audience development. And by audience development, we don't necessarily mean only just theatres, bums and seats.
For sure.
We speak across board, so from visual arts, fine arts, visual arts, sorry, I mentioned that, music,
craft,
all of that.
Yeah.
So it's quite broad, and also we're quite interested in digital audiences as well.
Sure.
We know that South Africa is...
We don't fully grasp yet.
Absolutely. So as part of the program, the fellows are looking at the digital space, how to engage with digital audiences as well.
So why don't you send these fantastic 4 you're sending them into the environment, but is the environment ready for this kind of information? Is there infrastructure to back up this kind of training and we now understand it, but you're still working in spaces where we have traditional issues with funding. People still don't understand how content can become a revenue aggregator. And I think how do we get over that problem? Maybe let me throw this at Kim. How do we get over the traditional issues we're facing, whether it's big city, whether it's rural?
How do we face the traditional...
How do we get over the traditional issues we're facing in this country? Not barring, of course, UK is far advanced from us. They are advanced in many ways.
Well, I think the first step for us is just changing our perceptions. I think our perception about theatre already, just in my particular knowledge, is that people think that it's elitist, that it's boring, that it's not for them. And I think it's about just opening our minds and trying to do something different and walk into a gallery and just, you know, I mean, as a performing artist, sometimes I feel intimidated going into a gallery because I'm like, what am I supposed to do or feel? But, you know, you're supposed to just go in and just enjoy and just try something new.
And maybe that's what we have to teach them. Guys, thank you very much for joining me here in studio. That was Marketing and Operations Manager at BASA, Lonwabo Mavuso, and Kim Sanssoucie, who is an accomplished actor, writer, dancer, and voiceover artist, speaking to us about the Connecting Creative Markets program that was happening in the UK. And of course, it's understanding the behaviors and attitudes of art audiences. Now,